Hello everyone who is watching this. I am Marcoco and this is my guide on Mute City. This is my personal best, but I'm gonna explain everything on the track on a run I did earlier with Teddy, well I guess Cat Cruiser. But it has the same stats as Teddy, so it's pretty much the same. So yeah, I got a 44.5, what was it? 44.582. So I'm gonna go over that run, and yeah, be back in a second. Okay, this is the run. You wanna immediately after starting go to the right, make a sharp turn to the right, and you wanna get 7 coins here. You are gonna have to turn to the left a little bit and then start turning to the left. Yeah, start turning to the left into a right drift. This is a little complicated. Turn left, right drift, and you ideally want to finish with 7 coins this part. Then you want to charge a super mini turbo or the yellow one and start right drift until the boost panel. And then you're gonna release your NT if you get it. If you don't get it, that is also fine. You just want to get into that booster as fast as possible. And then here, this is very tricky. It took me a while to get used to this, but you want to try to not move too much. For online races, the boosters panel, the boosters are not in the same order, so it's always gonna be slightly different online. But you want to try and not turn much, if at all. Here, this is a new strat that I recently started doing. If you do a little hop into the trick, a very delayed trick by the way, you're gonna get a little boost here. The boosts sort of combine, so it boosts you forward for a little longer. So the trick boost and the booster boost combine. But yeah, for this you wanna immediately after tricking pull your stick back so that you delay your landing as much as possible, and land on the right drift. Now this strat is a little complicated, but you wanna out of your drift hop into the left and then start a delayed left drift and try to get the boost from here. Charge up a mini turbo and then the same thing on the other side. So it's out of the drift, out of the drift, counter hop, then hop and delay drift to the other side. It's hard getting used to it. You can just like hop into another drift, but this is sort of like the most optimal way of doing it, I guess. So let's go over that one more time. Charge up drift, counter hop, delay drift, counter hop, delay drift. There. For here, I don't really pull back my stick. I think you're supposed to, but I just trick off this and try to stay on a straight line. Because if you lose speed when you turn without drifting, of course, it is always minimum on lower speed combos. In higher speed combos, the difference is humongous. But here, just to optimize things, you want to try and not turn much. So you want to try and have your angle set and then just go forward. Same for here. So I set my angle and then I don't move the stick until I'm pretty much on the next booster. And here and then I go on a straight line after the boost, try to start my drift by the ending of the boost. I go wide here and I try to aim. I can't show you my cursor, but you see that on the green barrier there on the right, the square where it finishes, I try to go 1 square, 2 squares, and go into the third one here. That's sort of the visual cue that I use. So the ending of the third one right now. I get a little bit into the off-road and then I use my shroom. I use my shroom when the exhaust, I guess, at the back of the card, once you see that. So I'm still holding the drift here, and I just use my shroom. So keep a very tight angle across this. And this is muscle memory for me. I'm not sure if this is the fastest way of doing it. But right after the boost finishes, I want to release the UMT that you charged over the off-road into a counter hop, followed by another counter hop. Then you go straight and start at right drift. And this is the drift that you will take up until the Nisk. It helps if you delay the drift a little bit. So after the 2 counter hops, you go straight for a little bit longer. I've gotten used to doing it pretty much immediately, but it helps a lot. I think it's even faster not doing the drift immediately. But yeah, just delay it a little bit and start the drift. I'll let it play on normal speed, so you see what I mean. You see, I waited a little bit. You wanna aim. Now this is the hardest part, the Nisk. I'll show a run without the Nisk, but I released the mini turbo super early on lap 1 to sort of show you the different Nisks that you can do. Here I am in the middle of the road, and I released it back here. If you do that, the Nisk becomes very easy. Shortcut made a video about it. But yeah, this is the sort of the easy way of taking the Nisk. You release it early, and then you just hop. Not as late as possible, but relatively late. The visual cue I have is just when I see my car getting out of the road, I start my drift. So yeah, you hop and pull back on your stick, like on the spin booster section. And you're gonna land here without a mini turbo boost, so you're not gonna lose a lot of speed. Frick. Then you wanna pull back on the stick, delay your trick here and keep pulling back, and try not to input. You can see Birdo's face, like head, moving to the sides while I'm here in the air. You wanna try to avoid that because it loses a ton of speed. You can pretty much land on the ramp if you do it perfectly. But yeah, I always aim for a little bit to the left, because I always turn a little bit. Here, land, and yeah, that's pretty much lap 1. I guess I didn't go over coins. Damn, I forgot. Well, on lap 1, I'm gonna delay Birdo here for a little bit. On lap 1, you want to get 7 coins on the first coin strip, the one that is over here. You get the other 3 on the second set of coin strips after the spin booster section. So you want to swerve off to the right to get the 3 last coins. If you go too wide, you can get up to 4. So if you only get 6 on the first turn of the race, you can always like go a little wider and then turn back into the spin booster, into the ground boosts. You should be fine. You can always get 4 there as well, so it's a good backup if you are on a very good run but only got 6 coins on the first trip. So here, lap 2. Finish the Nisk, boost. You wanna try and do a delayed drift here. So hop. I don't think I did it right here. Oh, I did it. Oh, well, I could have done it better. But you wanna hop, and once you are going to land, input the direction. You're gonna be landing on a sharper drift angle, I guess. You wanna get, for this boost orientation, this, like, all of these boosts change places online, including this. No, I think it starts on the second one. This first one is always here, but the second one is not always there. So for online, you might wanna just go tight on the next turn instead of going wide and try to get the boost, but you do wanna get the first boost. So boost, start the drift. Here, since the boost is on the way, you wanna barely touch it, keep a tight angle, and like lap 1, release the SMT, charge up another mini turbo, and yeah, this is gonna be pretty much the same. I do a different Nisk on this lap, so I'm gonna play like normal until then. Try not to move the stick too much on this part. Oh, trick. Oh, here. Okay, this is a very common mistake that happened to me since I started implementing this. I was turning to the left a little bit, so when I hopped, my cart, you can see the weird angle it took. There you go, that little turn. That's because I was barely holding to the left when I hop. Try not to have, like, not to touch your joystick when you do the little hop before, and then after tricking, start pulling back on the stick so that you delay landing as much as possible. Yeah, now like normal. Land on the drift. Mini turbo, counter hop, delay drift. Here, since I was too much to the right, I didn't delay drift. I just hopped into the left to drift. And I think my alignment for the last one was okay, so I did the delay drift. Yeah. Charge up a mini turbo and then release it, trick, and same thing here. Boost, not turning, not turning, not turning, then the setup again. I'm going for, this is a much better entry. You see the squares here on the right side? 1, 2, and on the middle of the third one, that's where I shroom boost while holding a, again, you want to delay the shroom usage a lot as well. Look, I don't think I did it as well this lap. Yeah, I did it very early. Wait. Yeah, that's good. Never mind. But you want to delay the shroom as well so that you have a better angle here. I wait for the shroom boost to end, then counter hop, go straight for a little bit while turning left, and then I start the. Okay, so it's not going straight, it's just turning left without drifting. So it's 2 counter hops. At least that's what I do. Counter hop, straight while turning left a little bit, and then right drift. Here I got the mini turbo and I released it pretty much at the same time. I was lucky to get it. But yeah, you can see the sparks on the, oh, you can't even see the sparks. I did it frame perfect. Okay, well, that was very lucky. But I got the mini turbo here and I released it, hop, and land here. You want to pull back while you do this on the stick and try to neutral hop. Neutral hop is when you hop without inputting a direction. So you want to do this, try and pull back a little bit and hop. Makes it a little bit easier. I'm gonna land on the ramp and trick. And same thing here. Pull back on the stick, trick, and try not to input any directions. Yeah, I did it as well. That's fine. Okay, I'm gonna play out lap 3 until the Nisk at normal speed, so you can see sort of the pace at which you need to do all of this. But yeah. So delay drift, tight until SMT, then min turbo here. And booster, try not to turn much. I did this better here. Hop into trick. Here I missed a spin booster, which happens sometimes. Just don't panic and keep going forward. Boost, try not to turn. Boost, try not to turn. Second square and a half. Counter hop. Yeah, Nisk. So here, this is, I think, the best example I have of a Nisk. This is the one, the faster one. It's not the fastest, but it is faster than the first one, the first Nisk I did on this guide. So here I got the mini turbo and then I released it pretty much as my cart was getting into the golden area, you see here. And then I wanna pretty much immediately hop, pull back. You can see the wall pushing me a little bit. Pull back, trick as soon as you land. So it's all in the setup pretty much. Here's a perfect setup for me. I will hope you. I wanna be right about in between the darker gray and the gray here. That's where I usually want to start my right drift. Then I soft drift to get the mini turbo charge. And release the mini turbo, hop. Trick, pull back. And yeah, same thing here. Back, try not to turn much. Trick, and yeah. You can cruise and slide at the end. I don't do it even on my personal best, just because you know, anti-grav is a little weird. The physics are different. For tantrals, maybe you should learn it, but for online, I don't think it saves much. I could be wrong, but I mean, there you go. That's my run. Yep. I really hope the guide was. Hold on, I'm gonna mute the game for a second, or lower the volume at least. But yeah, I hope this was useful. I'll probably post another run of. Oh, I'm getting a call. Probably post another run of this without going for the Nisk. So keep your eyes open for that, I guess. Like, the track runs pretty much the same. The only difference is on the. Actually, I'm not gonna post the guide. I'm just gonna tell you now. Since the run is, I'm gonna pause. This is confusing. Okay, since the run is pretty much the same, you wanna, on the shroom turn, you wanna just keep a very tight line next to the off-road and release your Ultra Mini Turbo as soon as you get it. Try to get it super early, then start a left drift and try to get into the boost panel, and then after, like, right, then release the Mini Turbo, I guess, and start a right drift. As soon as you see the boost from the boost panel ending, that's where you want to shroom. I think my personal best doing that was a 55.5. So like, it is slower than taking the faster shroom spot, but you can still get a pretty good time, I'd say, without doing Nisks. So yeah, that's my guide. I'm gonna end the recording. Good luck.